Alright, third and final day of solving trigonometric functions. So the first day we had a single trig function. Second day we had to factor things out. We're still going to factor, but what we need to do here is get things to be the same. So we have the same. Because we can't factor everything out, we're going to have to get it to where it all looks the same in terms of my trig functions. So, like if I have 2 cosine, should be cosine squared x plus 3 sine x equal to 0. I'm going to use my trig identities, or use identities, to essentially change, instead of having cosine squared, it should be cosine squared of x. I'm going to rewrite that in terms of the sign that I already have. So that way I can rewrite it as 2 times 1 minus sine squared x plus 3 sine of x equal to 0. I'm going to go ahead and distribute that 2 to everything. So then in my next step I have 2 minus 2 sine squared x plus 3 sine of x equal to 0. Now I'm going to rearrange it to where I have everything going in kind of in order. So I'm going to have negative 2 sine squared x plus 3 sine of x, and then I'm going to put the plus 2 on the back side. Now from here, what I would suggest doing is, to make this easier, is to divide everything. I want to get rid of this negative essentially, so I'm going to divide both sides, and the 0 is not going to be affected. So I'm going to divide both sides by negative 1. Again, it's still going to be equal to 0, so nothing's going to change there. I'm just going to have 2 sine squared x minus 3 sine of x minus 2. Now I can do what we did yesterday, and I can let, if you want to do it this way, where you let u equal sine of x and go about it that way, and have 2u squared minus 3u minus 2 equal to 0, and then factor. That's completely fine. I have no issue in that. If you just want to leave it as 2 sine squared minus 3 sine x minus 2, if you go and you look at the keyed notes, that's what's going to be done. They didn't change. They didn't get changed to an arbitrary variable. So if I factor this, I'm going to have 2u. I'm going to have u. 2 plus 1 equal to 0. So then again, if I have 2u plus 1 equal to 0, and if I have u minus 2 equal to 0, so then u is equal to 2. 2u is equal to negative 1, u is equal to negative 1/2, and then just change everything to sine of x equals negative 1/2, and sine of x is equal to 2. Now, the sine of x is equal to 2, we can automatically get rid of it because it is greater than 1. Okay? It can't be greater than 1, so we just don't use that one. Then it becomes, it's between 0 and 2 pi. So we just take our values, and we can, again, just like we have for the last 3 days now, we can use our circle, and know when our y value is negative 1/2. Okay, so when it is negative 1/2 here or here, so 11 pi over 6 and 7 pi over 6. So that means x is equal to 7 pi over 6 and 11 pi over 6.